반갑습니다. 현재 워싱턴 대학교 4학년이었죠?
Yeah, that's right. What else would I be?
워싱턴 대학교에서 컴퓨터 과학, CS를 전공하는 스도 씨 모셨습니다. 미국에서 엘리트 코스를 밟아온 이 미국인 친구와 함께 미국 입시에 대한 이야기를 나눠보고자 합니다. 고등학교 4년 내내 수석을 꿰찼고 유럽에서도 꽈탑을 달리고 있는 이 친구의 이야기는 신뢰하셔도 좋습니다. 한국에서는 SAT가 수능보다 훨씬 쉽다라고들 하는데 실제 명문대 입시에서 SAT 점수가 차지하는 심리적 비중은 어느 정도였습니까?
If you're gonna aim for the tippity top, then getting full marks on the SAT is a no-brainer. Of course, there is the part where the SAT is vastly easier than the CSAT, but that's not the point. With the SAT scores being only a small fraction of the equation, it is a given that you get full marks on it to have any chances at getting into the top universities. If you fail to get full marks, you don't deserve to really be there at the top universities, but if you do get full marks, that's just the norm. The real indicators of your abilities for the admissions officers is all the rest of your application. There's the ACT, APNIB, Running Start, essays, and then your extracurriculars to top it all off. ACT is the other standardized testing format, and a lot of people take that as well alongside the SAT and pick the one that you did best on. They're formulated and administered by different organizations, so different people do differently on those. The AP and IB are programs where you take college courses and then take a test to prove your understanding. The subjects in AP include calculus, psychology, music theory, computer science, English composition, and many more. The AP test grades are scored from 1 to 5, and you had better get at least a 4. Running Start is a program where you physically go to a college to take courses there as a high school student. You have to physically commute to the college in the middle of the day to take classes alongside college students. Then you also have to come back to your high school to take your other classes, all in a day, every day. Finally, extracurriculars are the work that you do outside of school. This can include lab research, projects, student club leadership roles, sports, musicianship, multilingualism, and volunteer work experience. If you aim for top universities, then you have to do some of all of these. So doing this takes most of your day outside of school. For South Korean students whose high schools end at 5 p.m. at the earliest, it may be a shocking revelation that US high schools end at around 3 p.m. However, don't go around assuming that the US students have it easy. Top students usually stay at school or at a workplace until around 10 p.m., at which point they then go home and do homework as well. The strongest students often do projects or work with the government or big corporations, such as developing contact tracing software to be used by the government during COVID.
한국은 입학이 전부라는 인식이 강한데 미국 대학은 졸업이 어렵다. 그런 통념이 있습니다. 유럽에서 졸업이라는 하중이 학생들에게 주는 압박은 어느 정도인가요?
First of all, what university you got into is not really the important factor in the academia culture. If you haven't graduated from it, or you dropped out, the fact that you got in has no significance. Furthermore, reaching the point where you can graduate is already difficult and complicated. Grad requirement systems are often very convoluted and dense. This is why there are academic advisors to help you translate your desired academic career into a curriculum that fits the graduation requirements. On top of that, for people in STEM, trying to graduate with good grades is an added burden because of the sheer academic difficulty. This is why there's this culture of fierce competition in top universities in STEM. Everyone compares themselves to their peers, and some people actually develop full-blown mental problems just from the pressure of it all. Aside from the grades, you also have to get a lot of outside experience while you're at college too. This can be internships, undergrad research, or personal projects, and it has to be unique enough to make you stand out. That makes you spend all of your vacations on furthering your career. There's no time to slack around.
대학 입시 과정 중 가장 힘들었던 부분은 무엇이었습니까? 또 스도 씨의 주변에서 지독한 입시를 견디지 못하고 중도 포기한 사례가 있을까요?
If we were to speak about hardships in general, there isn't much in the way of personal crises for people who were already planning on going to college. Most people don't need or want to go to college, and it's even widely considered a waste of money and time. Because of that, most people don't even apply to colleges, which in turn means that the people who are applying to colleges were already primed to face the hardships in terms of mental labor. The conceptual difficulty, though, does exist. You have to stand out and be unique enough. All of the top universities have already seen all the smart people, so intelligence is not the main attractor. You need to have unique experiences and insights. So by definition, if you follow a well-trodden path, you are not unique.
여기서 명확한 차이가 보이는 것 같습니다. 한국의 입시는 모두가 가야 한다 라고 여겨지는 길이기에 그 준비를 위한 길과 컨텐츠가 보편화되어 있는 편입니다. 주어진 것을 얼마나 활용하여 경제에 다다를 수 있을지 그걸 평가하는 체제인 거죠. 그런 반면에 미국의 입시는 남들의 길을 따라가는 것만으로도 이미 실패가 확정되는군요.
Yes, that's where the difference lies. In the US, there's a lot of opportunity to carve your own path, and you had better take advantage of that. Ideally, you must be the sole expert in your own field, so be irreplaceable and irresistible. But being unique also means that there are very few guidelines for how to make a good career to appeal to college admissions. So if you didn't already know what you wanted to do or what you might be good at, you're bound to be lost and frustrated. This is what I was referring to as the conceptual difficulty.
한국에서는 꼭 절대적인 것은 아니지만 보통 대학 이름, 통칭 간판이라고 부르는 것들이 곧 서열이 됩니다. 그러나 미국은 그렇지 않은 것으로 알고 있습니다. 미국의 대학들은 어떤 기준으로 서열을 만들고 줄을 세우나요?
No, and you're right. That's not how ranking works here. The name brand of the school doesn't really matter without the context of the field that you're judging them for. South Koreans commonly make the mistake of the Ivy League name brands being the only ones worth fighting for. However, the Ivy League is just a name for the sports league between adjacent schools in the Northeast and has no significance whatsoever on their academic prowess. And it's not like every school in Ivy League is a renowned school, like the Dartmouth College. At least in the context of research schools, which is the realm for STEM students, what ranks schools is the presence of named researchers. Naturally, that's why schools' ranks are dependent on the fields that you're judging them for. For instance, Harvard, the name all South Koreans praise to be the best, is ranked nowhere near my school, the UW. Again, this is because the UW CS hosts more of the currently influential professors in theoretical computer science than Harvard CS. The UW CS is currently ranked higher than even MIT or Caltech CS, quite plainly. So when you rank schools, you rank the school and its major. Like you would say, the UW CS is ranked at 4th place.
미국 명문대로의 유학을 꿈꾸는 한국의 학생들에게 미리 가늠해 보아야 할 현실적인 체크 포인트들, 그리고 입학한 뒤에 마주하게 될 대학 문화의 부재, 그런 현실적인 조언들을 부탁드립니다.
By all means, I encourage you to try if you think you have what it takes. The what it takes part is doing the heavy lifting here, though. First of all, as I said before, you will have a rough time if you don't know what you want to do or what you're good at. If you don't have that, I would advise against aiming for top schools. Even if you do get in with no clear interest, your university experience is sure to be miserable if you still don't have any interests. There's also the considerable factor that is your English abilities. Considering the road you have ahead, I would say that you should be proficient in English by the end of your middle school years. Then, sometime before high school, you should get started with AP classes and the SAT or ACT. If you're too late for this, then, well, buckle up, because it'll be a rough ride.
대학 문화의 부재, 이 부분은 어떤가요?
Right, college culture. Well, I did hear that there's a lot of drinking alcohol all weekends and going to these festivals that even dictate the school life reputation. That always sounded similar to what we call the party school culture here. As far as I know, the culture is universal to all South Korean college students everywhere, but that couldn't be farther from the cultures we have in the US. In fact, the reason why it's even called the party school culture is because those kinds of collective abandonment of scholarly composure only happen in schools that are dubbed party schools. At top universities and top majors, that's pretty rare. There's quite literally not enough time outside of scholarly and professional endeavors to do anything else. Because if you do, well, then you instantly start falling behind. If you were to be satisfied with those party schools, sure, I mean, that would be quite easy all around then, from applications to graduation. By the way, this doesn't just apply to party schools. If you're going to a top school but not for the top major that puts them on top, then that's gonna make it pretty easy for you as well.
그러면 명문대의 명문과가 아니라면 확실히 쉬운 건가요?
Yup, as I said, it's even somewhat of an easy out if you don't really care about your real career. If all you need is some name of a university in the US, then it'll be a smooth ride. But again, if you're going to a top school for their top majors, then it will be difficult. You know, it kind of makes sense anyway if you think about it. I mean, the top schools in the US are what everyone in the whole world wants to get into. How would that be easy?
네. 오늘 인터뷰 준비해 주셔서 깊이 감사드리고 앞으로도 자주 부탁하도록 하겠습니다.
You know, I'm preparing for my graduation, you know that, right?
이미 꽈탑이시잖아요. 뭐 여유롭잖아요.
Okay, whatever.